Morning freeze dryers, welcome back to the Live Life Simple Kitchen. Today I want to do a quick video on another pantry ingredient. We're going to do some orange juice today. I'm going to show you how to actually do orange juice the proper way without it puffing up and exploding inside of your freeze dryer, and we're going to rehydrate it in a super fun way. Cheers. Orange juice can be a really tricky thing to freeze dry. I'm sure that you've seen pictures of people with orange juice puffed up and just puffing out of the sides of the freeze dryer tray and making a gigantic mess. Today I want to go over how to freeze dry orange juice properly. I'm going to show you a couple things to look for in the orange juice that you purchase, a couple little tips and tricks that you can do to avoid mess and get a nice rehydrated freeze-dried orange juice product. The first thing I would recommend if you're going to plan on doing orange juice, I would actually do orange juice that's already in a bottle like this. You can actually do the from concentrate type, but you want to make sure that you add all of the water, maybe even additional water, into that concentrate before you freeze dry. Do not freeze dry the concentrate or you will have an enormous mess. The second thing you're going to want to look for is the ingredients in the orange juice. Obviously, a sugar syrupy type thing does not freeze dry well. That makes a mess. Sugary stuff doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't freeze dry, but it just doesn't freeze dry very well, or it takes an extremely long time to freeze dry. So pay attention to the ingredients. If there's corn syrup and stuff like that in the ingredients, or super high sugar on the nutrition facts on the side, you might want to think about choosing another brand. Today I'm going to use Simply Orange. It's a not from concentrate. The ingredients are relatively decent. There is still a lot of sugar in this orange juice, but I don't think it's gonna need to be watered down. One of the key things in here is it does not have any added sugar, which will make a difference. This says it's 100% pure juice. I don't know if it really is, but I think that it will definitely freeze dry a lot better than some of the other from concentrate types or some of the less expensive orange juice brands. So I'm gonna freeze dry these in the medium today. I am going to put parchment paper down or silicone because anything that has that much sugar in it will get very sticky and you'll have a mess on the bottom of your pans. And I think another thing that you need to keep in mind is you need to allow room for this to expand, so I would not fill it all the way to the top of the lip of the tray. So I'm freeze drying in a medium freeze dryer today. A medium freeze dryer will hold 6 cups. Sometimes it'll hold more, just depending on what you're doing. I'm putting 4 cups of liquid in each tray. You can see there's plenty of room under the lip. I'm actually going to use dividers too because I think that will help us. And then another important thing that we want to do is freeze this before we freeze dry. And then we'll do this for the other 3 trays. And then once these are frozen, then we can get a weight on them, and then we can get a rehydration that will put us right in the same spot as we are right now with no refrigeration, and we can do this wherever we want. That'll actually come in handy a little bit later in the video. Our 4 cups weighed 1738 grams. Well, that was easy peasy. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, Live Life Simple, please take a minute to do so. We do primarily freeze drying on this channel. And if you like the content we're providing, let us know, let YouTube know, give us a thumbs up. And if you're curious about freeze drying and the specs and pricing and things like that of the freeze dryer we use Harvest Right freeze dryers. You can go down in the description of this video, go through our affiliate link, and if you end up purchasing a freeze dryer through us, it greatly benefits this YouTube channel and the freeze drying community. And while we're on the topic of the freeze drying community, you can visit that by going to Retired at 40's freeze drying group. That can be found on Facebook and MeWe. And there are tens upon tens of thousands of members on there. You can search topics and threads and different members. You can just use this magnifying glass. That's your search function. You can find any answer to pretty much any question you can imagine about freeze drying. If you want to check out some freeze drying accessories that you've seen in this video or other videos, you can go to freezedryingsupplies.com Mimosas.com. That is our company. We developed freeze drying products to streamline the entire process from start to finish. And if you'd like to get the written version of this recipe along with over 300 other recipes, you can do that by going to freezedryingcookbook.com. We also have a hard copy version with our first 100 recipes in it, as well as a freeze drying handbook with just general information and helpful tips for freeze drying. So I'm going to keep an eye on this orange juice as it goes through the freeze drying process. Hopefully with the tips that I've shared with you and our precautionary measures we've taken, it will not explode or blow up in the freeze dryer. If it does blow up a little, it's okay. We have lots of room on top of the tray because we did not fill them all the way. And the other thing that I've noticed on certain foods is the dividers will help contain that blow up during the freeze drying process. So I will see you in a couple minutes, and hopefully we can reconstitute some freeze dried OJ in a really cool way in a really cool place. So our time was 34:54. You can see just the top rack is the only one that puffed up. The other ones looked like they actually didn't move a whole lot at all. The average on the trays is about 900 grams, up to 1,000 grams. So as you probably suspected, orange juice is a pretty sticky mess, super high sugar content. But the dividers don't necessarily help us with portions, but I think that they help contain everything from blowing up and reaching the top of the heating pads on the racks. So what should be really cool is that we're going into a mason jar, and these are 4 cups for capacity. So we should just be able to fill it up to the brim. We know that there's 4 cups worth of orange juice, freeze-dried orange juice left. So we should just have to add the water back in to our freeze-dried contents, and we should have exactly 4 cups of orange juice again. Today we're headed up to Conifer, Colorado. We're going to one of our favorite spots. We've been going there for probably about 15 years. It's a little picnic ground, do some hiking, let the doggies run around, and make some mountain mimosas. Let's rehydrate. So by putting approximately 3/4 of orange juice powder in here, we should be able to just add 4 cups of water to this. This is a 4-cup mason jar. That'll give us 4 cups of orange juice. It already looks like orange juice. So I'm just gonna cap this. We'll aggressively shake this for a little bit. So by the looks of it, we have perfect orange juice, and this is perfect timing because it's actually Mother's Day, so we're gonna have Mother's Day mountain mimosas up here. Like fresh squeezed. Now for the important stuff. Cheers, happy Mother's Day.
Now for the kids side. We're making an Arizona sunset, so you need Sprite. And we're trying this one with powdered orange juice and this one without. Now a splash of grenadine. The powder didn't work as good as the pre-made orange juice, but now to top it off with a maraschino cherry.
Now that's what you call an Arizona sunset.
Well, it ended up being a beautiful Mother's Day, and Mom unfortunately is on the camera right now. But our drinks turned out good. Both the kids and the adult drinks turned out great. Thanks for joining us on our adventures today. Remember to live life simple. We'll catch you next week. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.